Hello and welcome to Manga Toaru 96, and today we're going to talk about Toaru Majutsu no Indeks. It's time to talk about two sisters who, despite sharing many similarities, couldn't be further apart. First of all, they are alive or dead is a big factor in this. As well, both are technically level zeros, but they are world apart even with that category. I'm of course talking about Frenda and Fremea Seivelun. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as I'll be spoiling a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend you go and read the light novel, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with who Frenda is. Frenda Seivelun, originally a minor character, she was used to expand the growing mental breakdown of Mugino and the destruction of the first incarnation of E.P.M due to her betrayal. Her character is later expanded in her appearances in Toaru no Railgun. She was an operative of Academy City's based underground team called E.P.M. She was one of the main combatants of the team, having incredible prowess in close quarter combat, as well as expertise in traps and concealed weaponry. Her full name is revealed to be Frenda Seivelun upon the introduction of her little sister by the name of Fremea. She and E.P.M's leader Mugino have a sort of master-servant relationship, with Frenda usually being scolded for her feats of unprofessionalism at work. Out of combat, she seems to enjoy talking about ordinary things that a girl her age will talk about. She also values to relax highly, saying that it's her pride as a woman. In battle though, her moves can be difficult to read, as her humorous remarks often serve as diversions. This in turn, combined with her cunning style of combat, can prove to be a deadly combination. She is also somewhat vicious and possesses a bloodthirst nature, indicating that she enjoys taking away the life of someone as if she was destined to end them. However, Frenda has a softer side that she keeps hidden from the dark side and the normal world, and that she truly cares for people she's acquainted with. She is apparently very ambitious, having many connections, and is referred to by Shiehige as the most well-connected member of E.P.M, knowing thousands of people, including people not part of the dark side of Academy City. Indeed, she has prepared several birthday presents for many acquaintances. Frenda apparently also has a positive relationship with her younger sister Fremea, shown when the latter lamented for Frenda, knowing that she is dead. In the end, Frenda has multiple factors to her, having no remorse to those she kills and willing to betray her comrades to save her own skin, being described as a kind of a selfish and convenient person. But she also truly cared for her friends and was also a girl who did things that any normal girl her age would do. And the other side of her personality does not invalidate any of the others. She is also suspicious of drugs and is unwilling to use medicine when she was sick. As for her past, Frenda is shrouded in mystery. However, there are a few things that are known about her. She is of Norwegian descent. She has a hideout in Dynod where she keeps the softer side of her personality hidden, and has referenced it to E.P.M and even Kano. She is friends with Shinka and is one of the many she has prepared gifts for. Her relationship with Shinka is like that of an older sister with a younger brother, with Frenda continuously allying him to his insecurity as a crybaby or weakling. Her sister is Fremea, who the members of E.P.M didn't even know about prior to her death. As for her abilities, contradictory information is present between Toaru no Railgun S and its supplementary material. She is listed, albeit discreetly, as a level 4 Esper in an episode. However, in one of the DVD and Blu-ray booklets, her level and ability is not listed, and she is specifically stated as the only member of E.P.M who fights without using an Esper power. The manga and novels make no reference to her abilities at all. It was later confirmed by Railgun manga editor Ogeno Kentaro that Frenda is level 0. She proves to be skilled in close combat and is proficient in using an array of concealed weapons. Upon her encounter with Mikoto, she makes use of electrical igniters and strip off the tape-like explosives to create fuses that can cut through various objects. She also connects fuses to doll stuff with explosives. In fact, the array of traps for Mikoto is a pre-planned trap Frenda set up throughout the facility, which transforms the area into a battlefield where she gains an upper hand almost at the first moment the fight begins. She normally uses remote-controlled bombs, but she chooses not to prepare them against an electromaster like Mikoto in case they will be used against her. She is also somehow able to conceal missiles in her skirt. possesses a perfume bottle of vaporizer, breathable academicity-made explosives known as Ignis, and has a hidden stiletto in her left shoe. Unfortunately, she is prone to losing her focus in battle when she has the advantage, and she even admits that she underestimated Mikoto when the level Electromaster uses her electricity against a powerful insulator of electricity. She also has decent chemistry skills which she apparently uses for her explosives. Moving on to Fremea. Fremea Seivelun is a character introduced in Shinyaku Toaru Majutsu no Indeks. Merely an elementary school, she however became connected with various intrigues of the world of Toaru Majutsu no Indeks. Being the little sister of E.P.M's Frenda and cared for by skill-outs Kombato Rikuto, she became a central character in the movement of the story and its characters in Shinyaku Toaru Majutsu no Indeks, solely by existing. She is the linchpin of the Agetia Healthinium project, and her very existence ties with several moments relating to her safety. As a child, she has all the trappings of it. She has shown to be a bratish know-it-all, boastful, and she has a firm disdain for peace. However, she of course has a kind side to her, as she deeply cares for her caretakers like Komba Rituko and Hamazura Shiehige, and her sister Frenda, and is thankful to those who help her, as with the case of Accelerator and Fraulein. She will readily defend those who she cares for, demanding, as this was the case with her waking up, to tell Takitsubo not to speak bad of Shiehige, and can easily make friends in the strangest circumstances, like with the Last Order and Fraulein. She has a query taste for violent video games such as Blood and Destroy, though this might just be her curiosity. She believes in Santa Claus, much to Levine's surprise, as though she was referring to the Nicholas Foundation, and is willing to get into arguments with girls around her age like Last Order and Levine. Despite her age and the protectiveness of people around her, she notices the odd behavior of people who promise to see her again but never do, referring to Ritoko and Frenda, who died through the course of the story, and notices it on Shiehige before his nearly hopeless battle with Freshmen. A mere child, she naturally cowers at the sight of great danger, and though she is willing to go into danger for the sake of her friends, she is always supported by her friends to do so, like with the case of rescuing Fraulein, where she had help from Last Order and Beetle 05, or search for someone to help her. She exudes an aura of helplessness and makes people seem to want to protect her. In fact, it's the quality that attracts the attention of Yakumi Hisako towards her, making her the linchpin of the Agetia Healthinium project, the damsel in distress where the heroes will try and rescue her. It is not until near the end of the Agetia Healthinium arc that she realized that people are getting harmed in order for them to protect her, and she became determined to no longer wait for a hero to help her and decides to protect everyone. As for her past, how she and her sister came to Academy City is not known, though Rituko states that Fremea seems important because it's the impression he has gotten upon hearing her name, indicating her seemingly foreign origins, most likely Norwegian. It is known that Komba Rituko was acquainted with Fremea as early as January of the current year of the story timeline, with Rituko beat up a man who brought a bow gun into Fremea's school and later introduced her to both Hamazura and Hattori, most likely prior to the Esper attack on random level zeros and an escalation of revenge against Skill Out. Although they spoke to her, they did not even know her name. With the final straw that forced Rituko to gather the various Skill Out groups to decide on a retaliation against chosen Espers in a coordination movement, being the threat of Esper attacking an innocent elementary full of level zeros. It is most likely the school that they were attacking was Fremea's own school, adding to the fact that Rituko's primary reason for the uprising was to protect her. Regarding the report Toma read regarding Fremea becoming the protective target of the heroes, the linchpin of the Agetia Healthinium project, references as the backup plan was using skill out or experiments related to the becoming complete for the plan. Since there were no major events with her being protected by skill out or involved with prior to Shinyaku Toaru Majutsu no Indeks other than Rituko's planned uprising, it can be speculated that the Agetia Healthinium project has been going since at least early October. As for her abilities, Agetia Healthinium is not exactly an ability per se, but the effect of Fremea unconsciously influencing the E.P.M and diffusion fields in Academy City that the shadowing computer is built upon, and then in turn have it manipulate heroes to have a revelation protect her, who has been turned into the target of protection as in Fremea becomes the damsel in distress that needs to be saved by the hero, in a sense agitated, meaning the heroes are aroused to action, and haltation meaning the spreading of a halo, referring to the effect of the ability to spread. Since it only requires the disturbance in the E.P.M diffusion field spread out in Academy City, only those who reside in the area affected, and seemingly affects those who are not espers, as with Matsuda's suspicious on Yomikawa Aho being affected by it, and the distance is not a factor in it, as the heroes were called from various districts in Academy City, away from School District 13, where most of the story occurs. The initial effect it had on the characters have them helping her out, like with Beetle 05. However, by the time of the Agetia Haltenia arc, its effect has greatly changed for the worse. Here, the heroes, as they call themselves, have become aggressive to the point of violence, as well as extremely self-righteous, justifying their action as heroic for the purpose of saving Fremea. The very fact that each hero that is called upon Agetia Haltenia has the equality led to their roles as the learning core, each of them having their own ways of saving Fremea. Since Freshman was manipulating and artificially installing the values that make her the protection target to call out Agetia Haltenia, it is unknown what power she had prior to the event that warranted her being called to level 0. Regardlessly, throughout the early parts of Shinyaku Toaru Majutsu no Indeks, Fremea unconsciously uses Agetia Haltenia on people, like when Kihara Yutsuyo noticed that she used it unintentionally during the incident of Ichinaharaise, most likely referring to Beetle 05 helping her. Being the linchpin of the Haltenia project, where her unconscious influence on the E.P.M diffusion fields relies on her helplessness, Miyakumi Hisako did not take into account what would happen if Fremea consciously uses this ability, despite being a level 0, even after a balanced warning by Matsuda that an esper that is part of the E.P.M diffusion field that is being used as a medium for the shading computer could be manipulated. This is because the shading computer uses every movement of the target fluid, which in the case of the E.P.M diffusion field, to perform calculations. Even the smallest power production, the E.P.M diffusion fields that form the shading computer, has a connection to it. When used consciously against the E.P.M though body of Hisako, Fremea essentially controls all the E.P.M diffusion fields in the city throughout shading computer, and used it to manipulate Hisako's consciousness, giving her an illusion that she still has a body as well as mind-hound-like effects, having the memories she never had. Fremea is so powerful enough to manipulate the E.P.M diffusion fields to subdue Hisako and move or reject her towards Rensa. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on Frenda and Fremea. And that will be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.